Hey guys, welcome back to our video lecture series of geotechnical engineering. From the last lecture, we are discussing about the origin and nature of soil. So, as we are going to continue it to the next topic, so let's start with the transportation of soil. So, here it is. The agencies responsible for the transportation of soil particles are water, wind, ice or glacier, and gravity. These four are the major factors for the transportation of soil. So let's understand it in brief. The next topic is our transportation with the water. Soil transported with the water, a smooth running of water, is capable of moving a considerable volume of soil. Soil may be transported in the form of suspended particles or by rolling and sliding along the bottom of the stream. A particles transported by water range in size from boulder to clay. A soil that are carried and deposited by water are called alluvial soil. So here is the figure. From figure you can see that the parent rock present here, which is are of different color, and the soil transported from this main stream has a different color, right? This is the alluvial fan. So this soil is transported by river or at the river bed or ocean bed. We can find the soft soil, which is known as the alluvial soil, which is transported by the depositor of the water. Now next, wind transported soil. Like water, wind can erode, transport and deposit fine grained soil. A soil which can be carried and deposited by the wind is considered as a alluvial soil. A large sand dunes are formed by winds. Sand dunes are a common rather occurrence in the desert area like arid regions of Africa, Asia and USA. From the figure you can see here you can see the amount of wind blow which can carry the minor soil particles like silt or clay, or sometimes it is a particles like sand particles up to the diameter of 2 to 4.75 mm, which can carried by the wind blows to the another area. Today now, due to this type of wind blows or sandstorms, we are facing a big problem like desertification of the earth. And again, the soil transported by the air or wind is called aeoline soil. So next, jump to the next slide. A glacier deposited soil. Glacier deposited soils are deposits of ice formed by the compaction of snow. At the glaciers glow and move, to carry with that soils vary in size from fine grained to huge boulders. So that on the ice area, when the ice is going to melt down or smoothen, it will carry a soil particles which are around the ice. It will carry a soil particles like silt, clay, sand, even up to the size of boulders. Soils get mixed with the ice and are transported far away from their original position. Deposits directly made by melting of glaciers are called till. Also, the soil transported by ice is called glacial. Now, next topic is gravity deposited soil. A soil which can transported and deposited by gravity is called colluvial soil. Gravity can transport material for a short distance. Gravity are termed as talus. They include the material at the base of the cliff and the landslide deposit. Here, from the figure, you can see that this is the parent rock cliff, right? And the soil transported or deposited by the gravity is considerably here. So it can transport up to the nearest distance. While in the case of ice, let's back to the backward slide, you can see here that it is the ice covered mountains and the soil transported due to the melting of ice, which is considered as a glacial, is termed flow through this narrow stream. So the distance between this mountainous rock and the river stream is far away. So the glacial soil is moved up to the far long distance from the parent rock. So these are the soil transportation systems. Now we can check the short overview of the soil for the main transporting agents. Like due to the gravity, the soil transported is called colluvial soil. Please note down these four terms. The soil transported with the gravity is called colluvial soil. A soil transported with the water is considered as alluvial soil. Also, in water, two terms are inserted like streams and rainfall. Due to the streams, a soil transported is considered as fluvial soil, Fluvial, fluvial soil, and the soil transported due to rainfall is considered as a pluvial soil, Pluvial, pluvial soil. Now, next, the soil transported due to ice is considered as glacial soil, and the soil transported due to wind it considered as aeoline soil. So see, these are the basic transportation methods, right? Now next move to the types of soil. So first one, here is the alluvial soil. As we know, deposited by running water and are found in river banks and river beds. They are generally poorly graded and uniformly graded soil. Second, aeoline soil. Aeoline soil is deposited by the wind. They are mainly coarse-grained soil, particles and poorly graded. They are found in the desert region. Obviously, as I told earlier, the aeoline soil is transported due to the wind, which is generally happen in the arid regions like Asia and Africa. Then lacustrine soil. It is also called lake soil. A soil particles carried by flowing water and deposited in lakes are called lake soil. These are highly compressible and have high void ratio but low shear strength. Next, marine soil. Soil particles carried by the flowing water and deposited in ocean and seas are called marine soil. Its shear strength is better than the lacustrine soil and have a high void ratio. Next one is glacial soil, which is also called drift. These are the mixture of stone pieces, silt, sand and clay which are formed glaciers. These are generally well graded soil. Colluvial soil. A soil is transported and deposited by gravity are called colluvial soil, but obvious we discussed it about earlier. Cohesive soil. Soil in which the absorbed water and particles attractions act such that it deforms plastically and different water content are known as cohesive soils or clay, black cotton soil. In its high percentage of the clay minerals, it has very low bearing capacity. It possesses high swelling and shrinkage property. A black cotton soil has high swelling and shrinkage properties because of its mineral content of montmorillonite. Due to the montmorillonite, it can absorb high amount of water, and at the arid season it will be evaporate, and due to that the soil is going to be shrink out. Loam. It is a mixture of sand, clay and silt. So here are total 9 type of soil. There are also other type of soils. If it will be asked for the 7 marks in GTU exam, we can also able to add soils, type of soils based on its particle size. Like from the first chapter we can understand the soil particles based on its diameter or size. Okay. From that, if the particle size is greater than 2 microns to 75 microns, which is considered as silt. If the particle size is less than 2 microns, means 0.002 mm, is considered as clay. A particle size lies between 75 microns to 4.75 mm is considered as a sand, and the particle size lies between 4.75 mm to particle 4.75 mm to 80 mm is considered as a gravels. If the particle size lies between 80 mm to 300 mm, the soil particle considered as the cobbles, and if the particle size is greater than up to 300 mm, then it is considered as a boulder. So you can add these 4 to 5 terms types of soil also in the exams. Now, as we talked earlier about geological cycle of soil, due to that geological cycle of soil, there will be some type of disasters also occurs, like river meandering effects. Due to this geological cycle, erosion, transportation, deposition and upheaval system, sometimes of transportation of the soil particles leads to deposition of the silt or clay into the river beds, which can be results as a meandering effect in the river. Due to this meandering, we can see the huge curvature in rivers, and due to the barriers, the water can find a new way to flow against its path. So, see the next figure in which you can easily understand what is river meandering effect. Here in the figure you can see that the meandering effect of the river. In meandering effect, the river is considerably this type of spatial image. So its moving part of flow part of river is spiral like this, right? Why this type of thing happened? This type of meandering will be happen due to the mainly erosion and deposition. From this part side, the soil is going to be eroded due to the flow of water, and this side it will be deposited. So due to this phenomena, deposition and erosion, the flow of river will be more and more spiral or curvature. Here you can see the natural river meandering. This is the natural river side. Due to the erosion and decomposition, you can see the huge curvatures of the river, right? Due to the erosion and decomposition of this river, sometimes this path you can see here, which can be erosion, and this is a deposition. Due to deposition, here also it is for the erosion, and this is for the deposition. After a long time, the earth or soil from here, which will be erode too much, and it will connect with the this side, right? So after the long time, the path which can directly move through this, which leads to the move from here only, and this will be separate from here. This level will be separate after long time. So this is the basically a meandering effect. Hope guys you can understand all the topic. Thank you for watching, and if you like my videos, please like, share and subscribe. See you in the next lecture.